La Copa is on the air, and then there were four, and one step away, defending their crown and looking for their 30th Copa del Rey title. Barcelona at home in the first leg of their semifinal tie against Valencia, who will be looking for a bit of revenge. It's Barca and Los Che, and it's next on beIN Sports. Well, as you can see, it's a bit breezy and a bit emotional. Big fan of Sergio Busquets. She's not the only one, but Mateo feels the same way every time he shows up to work.
Every time I see you, Phil.
Phil Shane alongside Matteo Bonetti, and we are just about ready for action in the tunnels of the Nou Camp. Big Samuel Umtiti with his Colossus stance, and he has been for this Barcelona team, and he will be needed to again here today. For the first time in this 2017-18 tournament, Mateo, Barcelona will start at home, which means they need to throw the gauntlet down and then get the job done on enemy ground in the second leg.
Especially against a team, Phil, that will feel a bit wounded based on their performance during the weekend against Real Madrid, where they gave up 2 penalties. Just an absolutely shocking several weeks for Valencia, and then that 2-1 loss away to Las Palmas, certainly not helping matters much. But for Barcelona, there was a chance to see the Gala 11. Everyone talking about maybe a full-strength Barcelona lineup, but there is no Philippe Coutinho in the starting 11. Instead, we're going to see Iniesta alongside the likes of Luis Suarez and Messi. Both those two have been absolutely wonderful to watch in recent weeks. Luis Suarez in particular, 13 goals, Phil, in his last 12 matches. And to think that only in the beginning of the season we were wondering, was he done?
Well, Ernesto Valverde had no such doubt, and he has been a near regular. Aleix Vidal there as well, although remember, the transfer window does not close in Spain until tomorrow. So there still might be some movement on both of these teams, but both of these teams have to consider themselves rather well refreshed for the second leg, or for the second half of the La Liga season. And there you see Lionel Messi making sure the weapons are in perfect shape. And of course, Coutinho arriving, Jerry Mina as well. But Valencia has been busy themselves, and we'll go through that in just a little bit. But as the two teams step out onto the pitch at the Nou Camp, rather blustery conditions, temperature in the mid-40s. There is a drizzle in the air, but that cannot stop his smile. Humidity up there a bit, and the wind's coming from the north. I think we're going to be keeping an eye on her for the rest of this match. She is smiling and singing, but will Barcelona be after 90 minutes?
Well, it's certainly going to be tough, and they know that at Mestalla, one of the more difficult grounds in La Liga, if they don't get a positive result here, a real uphill task against a hungry Valencia side that has seen a few signings of their own. Obviously, all the talk about the likes of Coutinho and Yerry Mina, but Valencia starting one of their own January signings.
Good look as Jasper Cillessen will be in the goal here today, the cup keeper for Barcelona. It is pretty much the standard back four for Ernesto Valverde, as Umtiti is back healthy, although as we saw in the last game, maybe not quite game fit. It is 4 in the middle. Iniesta will pinch in a little bit. Vidal will play on the line, covering that man, Lionel Messi, and the red-hot Luis Suarez, who has now scored in 8 straight league games and look to continue his scoring run here today.
Expected to turn into a 4-3-3 as well. Iniesta pushing a little bit further forward. I expect that whole right wing to constantly interchange the likes of Aleix Vidal and Sergio Roberto. Especially Roberto, who's listed as a right back, but can play a bit further forward as well.
Jose Maria Sanchez Martinez is our referee here today. Jaume Domenech will be the man in goal. The homegrown keeper, well, from the north in Villarreal. Ruben Veso returns. Paulista as well. Both of them red-carded in the last league match. Meanwhile, in the midfield, Soler getting a start, and Coquelin back to the midfield, Matteo.
Coquelin was one of those January transfer window signings. Luciano Vietto as well joining up, scored hat-trick against Las Palmas in the Cup. That's the only place that he has scored this season for Valencia.
Meanwhile, the new camp is just about ready. Sanchez Martinez is as well, and so are we. Sergio Busquets anchoring that midfield, and Barcelona could use it. We are underway. Barcelona in their familiar Blaugrana, and the white and black with the bats on the shirt. Valencia will be moving from the right. Ball poked free in the midfield, quickly forward. Suarez, and he will maintain possession, rolling it wide. There you saw Aleix Vidal also moving to the middle. They will do that to try and create avenues for Lionel Messi. Good step up Umtiti. Back out wide for Jordi Alba. Iniesta kisses it through for Messi, who continues it wide. Sergio Roberto here, pretty much the opening possession on the overlap. Sergio Roberto will win a corner.
A lovely give and go there between two players who don't normally start alongside one another. Sergio Roberto and Aleix Vidal. Lovely return ball there from Vidal as Roberto just kept that run down the center.
Seeing a bit more of it. Vidal from the corner can't get it over the first man at the edge of the 6. They don't have Dembele, who is again recovering from injury, and in some ways that might be one of the reasons Valverde has elected to keep Vidal. Headed away by Veso. Roberto brings it down again, and right into the camera on the side of the field, and Valencia now trying to hold on, which they find is a little harder than they thought. Messi across. Tries to create, dispossessed. Evil look towards the referee, but only whistle from the stands. Busquets one touch, right back to Messi. Ready to play again, weaves through two, blasts it high and over the crossbar.
Oh, continuing his stellar form, and what a battle that's going to be between Francis Coquelin, who will have to really stay with Messi and help out that defense to limit chances just like that. Messi starting the game so well. His first touch going by defenders, always trying to get on his left foot, the little jerk to the inside, then a little burst of acceleration to create the space. That is a wonderful start. Did suffer a little bit, Barcelona, against Alaves. Of course, John Guidetti scoring the opening goal, but it could have been a lot worse, and Barcelona really getting a bit of trouble for that high line as Alaves looked so dangerous on the counterattack. Will Valencia, with these two pacey strikers, look to do much of the same.
Ball does sneak around for Suarez, looks to the inside. Messi's there, sends it long, right into the path of Roberto. One touch, Rakitic, but just a little too much fuel.
I think that's the reason why we've seen the likes of Vietto and Rodrigo instead of Zaza. Those two offer a lot more mobility, especially for a Barcelona side that will continue pushing high up the pitch.
Good look at Marcelino Garcia Toral. Spent some time in traction of sorts and with a neck brace as well. Had an auto accident during the holiday season with a wild boar. And back on the sideline, nice to know he's okay. The boar didn't make it, but Marcelino did. It's got to be scary. Off to the far side, Iniesta ghosts back to the top of the box. Messi now trying to sneak it inside. Second effort cleared by Veso. Piqué about to celebrate his 31st birthday tomorrow. Maybe an early present for the Barca fans today. Suarez tries to go through the legs but can't. Nice hustle in the midfield by Vietto, and he does maintain. It's a different look with Vietto. They do have Rodrigo, they do have Santi Mina, they do have Simone Zaza, and now Vietto, another weapon. I think the question for Marcelino the rest of the season is which pairing will be the most productive.
And all the strikers offer very different capabilities. Of course, Simone Zaza much better in the air. Rodrigo's a player that likes cutting from a wide position, and Luciano Vietto, who's done so well in the past under Marcelino, especially when those two were together at the Yellow Submarine, Villarreal. It's a player that's going to be looking to prove himself as well. Andres Pereira, ex-Manchester United youth. He spent all of last season on loan at Granada, Phil, before they went down to the Segunda, and remarkably, with 5 goals on the season, he was their joint top scorer.
Says a lot about Granada.
Says a lot about where they are now in the Segunda. Of course, Tony Adams with a big part to play in that club.
Wide for Sergio Roberto, peeling away Vidal, drags the defense with him though. Messi in the midfield, hits the accelerator, ball pops up, Iniesta can't quite reach it, and cleared away by Montoya, the former Barca boy. Team Montoya spending 7 years with many of the players he's facing here today. Lifted down, Montoya reaches out, denies Alba, and comes away with it nicely. Maybe not flashy, in some ways very similar to what we see from Sergio Roberto. Just gets the job done. Ball curls inside. Sillison times it well, and he needed to.
He had to come out so quickly off of his line. That is a lovely ball from the striker Vietto to play it on for his strike partner Rodrigo. Mentioned the pace. Valencia's going to try to exploit that high line. They're going to play very vertically, route one football, just trying to bypass the midfield and try to get space in the opponent's half. That wasn't a bad ball at all.
And again, it's not always taking the second floor with the likes of Dani Parejo and company in the midfield. They do go direct ground level as well. But with Marcelino, it's shore up the defense and then try and get to an instant attack. And that has been a problem for Barcelona this season. Defensive recovery, yet at the same point, the second best defense in league and still unbeaten in league. Although they did get a defeat against their arch rivals Espanyol in the Cup in the last round.
Only defeat of the season, unless, of course, you're counting those Super Cups.
Do you count those Super Cups?
I do.
Well, you get a trophy for it. Ball back for Rakitic. Good cover by Vietto, but he can't hold on to the loose ball. His counterpart Iniesta tries to force it through. Nice from Coquelin. Piqué reading it well. Sergio Roberto pays the price.
That high boot. One up, and I think he might have just grazed the leg of Sergio Roberto with the studs. Andres Pereira. Yep.
Just caught the top of the boot. Got his start back at PSV, the Belgian-born Brazilian international. 22 years of age and a solid pickup. Now the question for Valencia is, can they hold on to him? Or will United want him back? Now look at Barcelona putting some pressure on Token at the moment, but expect that vice grip to tighten. Trying to flip it on. Vietto can't control, and Barca does get it back about box high. Possession overwhelmingly in favor of Barcelona here in the early going, about 77%. Although only one shot to show for it. Suarez like a bull in a china shop. Back for Vidal. Spots the run, but forces Messi to stop and cut back, but it leads to this. Alba. Iniesta makes the run. Messi curls. Messi delivers, but it's deflected away by his former teammate and out for another corner.
Does seem like Messi's getting quicker with age. Again, that burst of acceleration, that first touch to find Iniesta out wide. Everything he touches is so crisp. And there Montoya, you see he's trying to commit. He doesn't know when Messi's going to release that ball into the middle. Player that had such a nervy performance against Real Madrid. Of course, Martín Montoya giving up 2 penalties during the course of the 90 minutes.
Lifted in, saying they could have let it run. probably should have, because it's right back to Barcelona in the midfield.
Says a lot about the faith that Marcelino has in Montoya as well, Phil, that he continues to put Montoya in such a big game. Start against Real Madrid, gave up 2 penalties. Now he gets to start against Barcelona in the Copa del Rey. Of course, an ex-Barcelona player himself.
Gotta feel sorry a bit for Marcelino in that performance. It did provide a bit of a spark for Real Madrid, but the 2 goals from the spot and then 2 late goals, a deceptive 4-1. And there was an argument or 2 for a penalty as well the other way, but didn't quite work out. Could say this. Shall we say friendly officiating. Back for Piqué, wide for Sergio Roberto, now to Vidal. A little too far on the touch, and Veso clears it into the stands. Look how deep Parejo is. Regista-like, but it's pretty hard to create when you have 100 yards between you and the goal. Foul on the far side. Should also be a nice little compliment to him, having Francis Coquelin right alongside. Player that will do a lot of the defensive gritty work and really allow the time and space to Dani Parejo to orchestrate. Long down the line, Umtiti gets caught on the wrong side, crossed into the middle, and a lunge by Piqué necessary. Somewhat against the run of play, but that's the way Valencia strikes. I expect a lot of these balls sent in to the box to be low. Don't exactly have a target man. Valencia Rodrigo, only about 5'9". He's going to have a hard time out jumping the 6'4" Piqué. First corner of the game for the visitors, taking their time, trying to shorten the game a bit. Good look at Cillessen, who has been practically unbeatable this season, backing up Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Rolled back. Soler getting a chance here again today. Ball rattles off the midfielder and out. It goes Barcelona's way. Still coming back from injury, Carlos Soler. Questions about whether or not he's fully fit. Adding to the injury woes of Valencia, no Gonzalo Guedes, who's been one of the more influential players. Missing 2 center backs as well, and Sergio Garay and Jason Murillo. Soler wearing the number 18 today. Kind of interesting in the fact that the guy wearing the number 18 for Barcelona, they played together in the youth ranks and the reserves for Valencia. Of course, Alba eventually returning to Barcelona. And there has been some conversations that Soler might also be on the Barcelona radar. Iniesta scrambles back in time, tries to play it square and measured it to perfection. Vieto thought he could get there, just missed out. We talked about how this formation can morph a bit, and as you see, almost a 4-2-4 now with Busquets, who always used to be the lone midfielder, getting some company from Rakitic, and then Vidal and Iniesta pushing to that front line. Joined by Alba. I mean, we're almost getting back to the WM. The old center half roll. Sergio Busquets up to Messi, wide for Alba. Making the run, Suarez, but Veso made it with him. Veso had to outstretch. It was a lovely ball in for Suarez, who just exploded off of his line. Great understanding as well. Jordi Alba, a little look up, and with his left foot, he's able to go around the first defender and really make Ruben Veso have to make a play for that ball, or else Suarez is going to redirect that one towards goal. Domenech, 6'2", likes to come out, punches it, and gets it out of the 18 on the volley. Vidal, but his aim fails him. Suarez stepping back. There's a good look at ter Stegen on the right, and Coutinho in the middle. course, made his debut off the bench in the Copa del Rey, his first start in league play. I'm not saying leaving a bit to be desired, but it paled in comparison. But I'm sure, judging by his first half hour's work in the Cup, there's a lot more good to come. BeInSports.com for all the latest on the Copa Liga and beyond. And there's the Twitter handles. I wonder what the viewers think. Who's the best? Who is the winner, shall we say, of the winter window? Because these two teams would be right up there. I think Atletico, mainly because the arrival of Costa and Vitola were delayed due to the transfer ban. And Sevilla, a late push with 3 good signings. So,
Phil, can it be anyone else other than Barcelona when you spend over 100 million euro on a player and get a player like Coutinho? Is he on side here? It looks absolutely on line with Titi, at least. Very close call there.
And remember, the arm does not count. So a lot closer than it even might have first appeared.
Both those Valencia strikers, they play on the shoulder of the last defender. They're constantly looking to get in behind. That's going to be quite troublesome for this back line.
Lifted down, Alba. Just made Soler look like he was walking or standing still.
Running in quicksand more than anything.
Iniesta slaloms to the inside. Messi again finds those pockets. Again back for Lionel, but denied that insightful pass. They'll have to settle for the throw-in. Some ways a similar formation here. Both of these teams going with that 4-4-2. Parejo and Coquelin, the central pairing for Valencia. Sergio Roberto in on Pareja. Showing it and then plucking it away, Lionel Messi. Scoops it in for Vidal. One touch. Now he slips as he recovers. Messi.
What a ball again.
Even better, but Sergio Roberto couldn't handle it.
It's an absolute clinic here from Messi with his passing. Seen him pop up everywhere, on the right, on the left, down the middle. This time as he's on the right, he's always going to look to turn his body towards the pitch to get it on his left, and just delivered 2 gems. First to Aleix Vidal, then Sergio Roberto has been pushing up so high in these opening 17 minutes.
Barcelona knocking off their crosstown foes Espanyol in the quarterfinals, although they did taste defeat for the first time, shall we say, in the regular season. Valencia, meanwhile, had to bounce back, trading 2-1s with Alaves, the team that Barca beat in the final last year. It ended up having to move on thanks to penalties. Messi keeps his feet, keeps possession. Soler retreats. Iniesta settles for Alba. Veso pinches in. And Parejo forced to just poke it away. In the round of 16, a bit easier. Barca, the big one, in now for Rakitic. Manages to keep it, sends it across for Suarez, and then finally spanked away.
So far, Valencia, no answers for all these runs down the middle. It's that second wave of runs which is really troubling Valencia from the midfielders. And that was a great ball there from Aleix Vidal just to spot the run of Rakitic.
Barcelona and Valencia with tight 1-1s in the first leg on the road at Celta and Las Palmas, respectively. But shutout wins in the second leg. Barca beating Celta 5-0 here at the Nou Camp, and Valencia at Mestalla 4-0 over Las Palmas. Even easier against Zaragoza and Murcia in the round of 32. Sliding across, Suarez settles, sweeps it wide. Alba looking for Rakitic, but anticipated well. One right back by Sergio Roberto. This cannot be good for Marcelino. About 80% of the game seems to be happening right in front of the Valencia area.
And Valencia really tout themselves as a possession-based side. But they can be quick on the counter as well. It's a team that can really mold to their opposition. As good as they are, especially at home in possession against smaller sides, they're going to be equally as effective playing a more defensive shell. And just look at that 4-4-2. The two lines of four really compact. Although it doesn't matter how compact you are, sometimes against Barcelona, Phil, they always seem to find their way through.
Good stretch. Sergio Roberto keeps it alive, but now Barca trying to make something of it. Coquelin slides across and then just dumps it into the corner. Bit of a foot race, and Umtiti and Piqué have the angle.
And there's no attempt to even play the ball to one of the midfielders. Dani Parejo is a player that can really take control of it, but every time he's gotten in possession, he's been instantly swarmed by 3 or 4 Blaugrana hits. So every time Valencia in the ball, you can sense a little bit of panic, just trying to get the ball downfield, hoping that one of the strikers can get on the ball before the defender.
Well, we are nearing the midway point, though, and Barca still unable to take advantage of this dominant possession, and still just 2 shots to show for it. Veso, Parejo, but again, before they can find the third man, Barca gets it back. Messi. 2 in the box. Doesn't need him because he finds Jordi Alba, and then the return pass just scooped wide.
Again, 5 Barcelona bodies inside the box. The fullbacks essentially playing as wingers, allowing the rest of the wide men to tuck inside. Look at all those bodies so close together. And Messi, they were just trying to invent on the fly and figure out how to get this ball past Gabriel. Well, that's certainly a way to do it, but just gets a little bit too far ahead for him.
Taking his time, Domènech. And again, right back to Barcelona. And taking a look at how those lines bend, the forwards, the midfielders, the defense. Now Vidal, but a slight deflection by Coquelin. And that was enough for Montoya. Now Soler. Might have been unintentional, but there was contact. Barcelona mentioned that they won this against Alaves last year, 3-1 in the final. Valencia ousted in the round of 16 by Celta Vigo, somewhat convincingly, but again, gives you an idea what Marcelino has done in a relatively short period of time. This is a team that finished 12th last season, and that was actually an improvement. And now they stand third with a chance for second and almost a lock for a Champions League spot.
However, there is this old theory with Marcelino sides that in the second half of the season they drop off. It's because of the physical demands that he expects from the players. Really is frenetic in training. He's obsessed with body fat percentages and the like. And so often, Phil, throughout his career, his teams do seem to have a little bit of dip. Tire out really quickly, especially around this mark after the holidays.
You just want your Panettone. Vidal. Back for Piqué. Ball. Again, so close to Soler. Referee saw it. Fans wanted a handball, but none coming. Wide to the near side, but the pass behind by Vieto.
But again, look at on the counterattack. So few bodies committing themselves. 3, maybe 4 Valencia players getting forward. You're getting absolutely no support from the fullbacks, and you very much sense that Marcelino just told this team to just try to keep it as close as possible from Mestalla.
Trying to get into the area, Suarez, and again it's Veso just in time, but another corner for Barca.
He's done quite well today, Veso. Snuffed out a few important chances, especially against Luis Suarez. Showing a bit of quickness there just to stay stride for stride with the Uruguayan.
Driven in near post, flicked on by Busquets. Nodded wide by Gabriel Paulista, the ex-Arsenal defender. Messi now lurking on the right. Vidal sneaks it in, dummied by Rakitic, but Piqué, who stayed up front, couldn't get there, and he's still in the middle. Messi drives it across for Iniesta. Again behind Piqué, and again just sent out desperately, surrendering the corner. I count this is already up to 5 corners to 1. What will they get on it? Rakitic in. Well, they'll get another corner. Coquelin twists it wide. Rakitic takes the deep breath, launches it in, but Piqué over the back of Gabriel Paulista. And a foul called against Barcelona. I'll tell you, you talked about possession as we take a look at the foul. And not a lot there, although the shot did not go on target, so a moot point. Barcelona averaging about 58%. Valencia just under 50 on the league season. Right now it's 83-17. Vidal quickly gets rid of it. Messi in for Suarez. Saw the opening, but he couldn't sneak it through.
Well, he scored from some spectacular angles in the last few weeks, but even that's going to require something that's maybe out of his arsenal. Trying to bend it in from that position and from a standstill position. There's absolutely nothing going forward for Valencia. Making no attempt to send bodies forward. They're just trying to stay in their compact, low block.
You saw Parejo looking to the sideline to Marcelino. Do we step up? Do we pressure? This is the first leg, and there is a first leg mentality to this as well, in the fact that if they can keep this close, and by some miracle even walk away with a 0-0, they go home to Mestalla, where Barca has had some problems. Foul here as Suarez knocked down.
Well, last time they met in the league, it was 1-1 between Valencia and Barcelona.
Coquelin getting a talking to.
Maybe raises the old issue, should the Copa del Rey semifinals even be a two-legged affair?
Interesting how they do it around the globe. Italy, when they get to this stage, does, but there are a lot more one legs, single elimination. Vidal across, nice from Paulista. Gaya sends it past the flailing legs, but right back to Barcelona. Messi, Vidal, Sergio Roberto pushing up to that front line. Right back, turned midfielder again. You hear the fans oohing and eyeing.
And the Valencia players, they keep looking around at each other, almost trying to figure out what's the best way to get the ball back, maintain a more balanced posture. No connection between the midfield and the attack.
Suarez looks up. Second look finds Vidal. Gaya back in time.
One-on-one there against Alex Vidal. He had to make a play for the ball, or else Alex Vidal would have squared it back in. Gaya did play as a left-sided midfielder against Real Madrid over the weekend. Tony Lato's been filling in at left back at times, is further back.
Of course, again, that part of that Valencia left back pipeline we can talk about because one of them is all the way on the other side in Barcelona colors now. Jordi Alba. Busquets. Went a bit awry, but Rakitic hauls it right back. Valencia lucky if they can get 3 touches of possession. Sergi, the give and go, but it got too quick.
Great idea. And it's not a case of having an inverted winger, so both Vidal and Sergi Roberto will mostly take up a wide position and be very close to one another. Roberto was onside. Just a bit of a heavy touch there as you look again at the magic from Lionel Messi. A little nutmeg on Coquelin sends him back to England.
Well, they'll get a throw in here. Look on the bench for Barcelona, and Coutinho is there, as is Yerry Mina, still awaiting his Barcelona debut since making the move from Palmeiras. Poor touch by Gaia that time. There's little things like that also. You can't give Barcelona the extras. Alba. Suarez back to Jordi. Poked free by Soler. Won back by Busquets. Tackled away by Parejo, and then
pressure from Barcelona. This is incredible.
Vieto dispossessed.
Valencia don't even have time to settle the ball, and suddenly they're swarmed.
I'll make that Iniesta's shot deflects into the arms.
Really feel the work rate off the ball from Barcelona the second they get dispossessed, and it's been very rare. Maybe 1 touch or 2 touches maximum for Valencia, and suddenly they give the ball away.
Pep Guardiola used to have that 6-second rule. I think Valverde might have chopped it in half. As soon as you lose possession, defend like a maniac for 6 seconds. And then if you do get it back, attack immediately, because that's when the opposition is its most vulnerable. Worked pretty well for Pep, and it's worked pretty well for Ernesto Valverde. Again, from a league perspective, is now tied with Pep Guardiola for the best Barcelona start of all time. And he's doing it right out of the gate. Sweep from Busquets. Almost brings tears to your eyes. Iniesta wide. Messi from an angle. Veso again. Alba. Messi. On his right foot, though. Vidal pokes it high into the air and plucked down by Domenech. Well, we've talked about possession. We've talked about balls in danger zones from Barcelona, but I think in some ways we have to give credit to Marcelino's defense, how disciplined they have been to this point, and they've needed to be. Suarez, rather than surrender the goal kick, puts it out for a throw-in, and Barcelona will put the pressure on again. Little things. Man, look at that. All defenders deep in the Valencia end, and it works.
I don't remember a time where we've seen Valencia getting outplayed quite like this. We have nearly a 85-15 possession split. You know something's going terribly wrong. Just absolutely no attempt from Valencia to build up possession.
Cross too far. Veso. But again, only as far as Iniesta. Up steps Gabriel Paulista, but his pass behind Rodrigo. Soler tries to win it back. Parejo blasts it to midfield. But again, Busquets. Now a tangle with Sergi Roberto. Might not have been intentional, but there was contact, and the card comes out.
Oh, that's what Valencia needs, to go flying to every challenge, to try to go 50-50 with Barcelona. and match that aggressive nature. Bit of a dangerous challenge here. Roberto just sticks out his studs. Might have caught Andres Pereira right on the kneecap.
Parejo asking Marcelino, what do we do now?
Oh yeah, dangerous. Ooh. Oh, it's on the, well, it's not a good place.
Well, I think it started on the thigh, and then it might have gotten a little worse, but he might be able to continue for the next 10 minutes or so.
Is that what you call the thigh, Phil?
Let's say the upper thigh, and that is where they have the magic spray can, but that is probably going to tighten up at the half. Good look at Yerry Mina, who looks like he'd rather be in Brazil at the moment, but I'm sure he's glad to be in Barcelona. 45 degrees, 81% humidity, and a wind from the north at 17 miles per hour. There you look at the fans who have made the near 200-mile trek northeast. Back for Domenech, drawing a few boos and whistles, little soft touch. It doesn't take much. TT sending it across, and there again, take your 80% possession, but until you put a shot on goal, it's kind of hard to score. Messi in the midfield, Rakitic lurking forward. Back for Sergio Roberto. Glued to Messi's feet, back wide for Rakitic. They can't get it past Gaia. With the wind chill, feels about 36, 37 degrees right now. But if you're on the field, not bad. Might be a little harder to loosen up from the bench. Sails all the way across to Alba. Just over 7 minutes left in regulation. Iniesta again smoothly in. Suarez thought there was help. Again, Umtiti.
Yeah, Suarez thought that he had Alex Vidal right in behind him. It was a good idea from Suarez, showing off his awareness, but in the end, it was just a Valencia player.
Suarez holds, drops. Messi strikes, but it was blocked. This might be more defense we've seen from Dani Parejo than we have all season long.
He's had no choice.
Messi contorts his body, sends it wide. Second crack. Whoa! And deflects just behind Suarez. Good try, Iniesta. And now Vidal for another corner.
Does anyone play that diagonal ball out wide to the fullback better than Messi? Again, he just drops it over, loops it over the Valencia defense. Maybe the most dangerous occasion for Barcelona so far.
Vidal was ball watching a bit. Took his foot off the gas pedal. Messi's pass goes right to Valencia, but Valencia's pass goes right back to Barcelona. Eso. Not bad for the center back, but Pereira sending it into the middle, right to Rakitic. Looks like Valencia has someone loosening up. Wonder whether Pereira's going to be able to continue. Oh, hard hit Pereira in on Messi. Now, what's going to happen here?
That's shocking.
Sanchez Martinez has the yellow in hand, and I think the fans wanted a different color.
Well, Pereira saying he got all ball, but with the yelp from Messi, who doesn't go down easy, there's a little bit too much in that. Maybe still frustrated about the challenge that he received the other end. He absolutely hacks down Messi.
Looked like Suarez took a pop across the face. And now looks like he might be up for a yellow. Let's take another look.
Goes right through the player, showing the studs.
He got the ball, but the second leg catches him. So probably a good call. Now keep an eye on Suarez in the middle.
Maybe a flailing elbow there, Gabriel. Saw that forearm flailing out, Phil. Player that has to watch out. He was sent off only 2 weeks ago. A red card against Las Palmas.
Didn't like a penalty, and he ended up getting a chance to think about it in the showers. 5 minutes left in this opening half. Messi appears to be okay. Pereira not so much. Alista 6'1", Piqué 6'4". Busquets setting the target line. Messi going near post, and Piqué almost caught it.
Begging for that near post run. Piqué had the slightest separation from his marker, and the way that it's whipped in by Messi, no chance for the goalkeeper, Dominic, to come out and meet it.
Another way, if Valencia thinks it has survived to this point, the history of this season might give them reason to fear. In their 21 league games so far this season, Barcelona have only scored 17 goals in the first half, as they almost get one here. They've scored 42 in the second stanza.
Wasn't the best marking either. Piqué just got by all three Valencia players. No one really staying stride for stride with the big center back. There's that return ball, and Dominic, what an important touch that was. Suarez thought he had an easy tap, and it's the slightest graze with his index finger.
Little slip on the cross, hangs in the air, but Sillison pulls it down like an apple from the tree. There's a good look at Iniesta. That's his house. Played the full 90 on the weekend. Needed to. And he's out there again today. Suarez with Messi lurking. Not sure it was to him. It might have been for Rakitic. Messi tried to take it, but it doesn't matter because Vieto gifts it right back. Iniesta draws the defense, dishes wide around Montoya. The Alba cross off his former teammate and out. Corner number 9, and we're still in the first half.
This feel like a minor miracle if Valencia are able to go 0-0 into the half. I'll start seeing this as a real golden 1 point.
Inside, punched away by Dominic, settled by Messi. Quickly closed down. Vidal was open, across for Rakitic now. Sneaks it through for Alba so brilliantly. Actually, Iniesta, he actually caught Don Andres by surprise.
Tricky from the fountain of youth as well, Iniesta. Great triangulations. There's that line of 4. So close, so compact, and Barcelona getting so much space down those wide areas, given how compact that low block has been for Marcelino.
Just looking at some of the statistics, and Vieto losing possession 11 times the high for Valencia, but there's a few Barcelona players that are already in double digits as well. I think the reason the number might be so low for Valencia, well, there's number 12, is they haven't had possession to lose. 80 seconds left in this opening half. But still, no shots on goal for Barcelona. Will this be the first? Veso bumped by Suarez, and he is hurt.
Oh, when he kicks through at the ball, or thinking that's where the ball is going to be, he actually catches the back of Veso's leg. Take a look at this. Gabriel completely misjudged it, and that's quite a trip, isn't it? A little bit more than a trip, Phil.
Well disguised as he throws the knee in. And here from the earlier cleats.
That big bruise as well on the thigh of Pereira.
And that's the flashback. I told you it was the thigh.
Well, it started in the thigh. We can agree on that.
But I have a feeling that is going to be one that will tighten up at the half, and Valencia will likely have to make a switch. Plus also, Andres Pereira has a yellow card, and that is a risk you do not want to take, going a man down against Barca. Concern for Barcelona is throwing so much into the attack and giving one up on the counter. Because a road goal for Valencia could be huge in how they approach the second leg. 1 minute added, and a rare foray into the Barcelona end. Pereira forward, Vieto in to the goal line squares. Umtiti helps clear. Still one last chance, perhaps. Here's Montoya. Pokes it free, knotted down. Montoya with the left, and almost sends that one to the back of his old net.
Oh, that's not exactly his forte, is it? The left-footed volley. But really the first attacking chance for Valencia all game long. First time they've actually committed a few bodies into the opposition's half.
Poking it free again. 45 minutes, then it's our turn, said Marcelino. Pereira again. Seconds winding down. Can they get the ball into the box one more time? And that will do it. First half to a close with Valencia's only real chance. Barcelona and Valencia scoreless at the break.
A great display from Barcelona, both with their high pressure, their possession, but unable to beat down that low block of Valencia, who have defended well.
Well, another 45 to come. Stick around. The Express comes your way next. Well, one looks ready. The other one, well, maybe looking for a little help. As we mentioned, the injury to Pereira and the card probably combining to put him on the shelf. But it's Nemanja Maksimovic, the 23-year-old Serbian international, ex-Red Star youth player in his first year from Astana, who will be stepping in. Another attacking midfielder, a bit more centrally located, though.
It's like for like as well, Phil. Andres Pereira was hobbling for much of that first half after that knock from Sergio Roberto. Maksimovic is a pure wide man as well. Very direct when he's in possession. But he'll have to turn into a fullback here today, given how things went in the first half.
No changes on the Barcelona side. Still Silesen in goal. Sergio Roberto, Piqué, Umtiti, and Alba the back four. Rakitic, Busquets, Vidal, Iniesta, Messi, and Suarez rounding out the Blaugrana. Alba looks like he thought that Suarez would make the inside run, but frustration building a bit. Jaume Domenech in goal for Valencia. Montoya, Gabriel, Veso, and Gaia the back line. Alejo Coquelin anchoring. Soler now and Maksimovic in the midfield, with Rodrigo and Vieto up front, as we remind you graphically. Speaking of Rodrigo, bit of a Barcelona connection for the Brazilian-born Spaniard. Oh, whipped in, but Silesen will grab it. His father, Adalberto, used to play at Flamengo, and really good friends with the father of Thiago and Rafinha Alcantara. World Cup player in his own right, Massinho. And they grew up together back in their days at Celta. They were so close and never separated. They actually thought they were related. Now Thiago and Rafinha have both moved on. Rafinha heading to Italy at least for the rest of this season on loan. And how do you think he's going to do?
Oh, if he can stay healthy, he'll be great with Inter. What an incredible footballing family that is.
Alba back to Iniesta. Spotted Rakitic, but Soler in the way. Here's Rodrigo, man we just spoke of. Actually spent some time at Real Madrid before moving on to Benfica and now to Valencia.
They're bypassing Dani Parejo altogether. Normally the one who creates in the midfield for Valencia, but he's been pushed back so far that he's not going to create too much from really the Barcelona box. So oftentimes when they get possession, just Rodrigo or Vieto rather, just playing through balls for one another.
Well, they do have Santi Mina and Simone Zaza available on the bench, and a promising young Spanish youth international Ferran Torres, who is dressed today. Messi on the turn. Valencia backs off. Tight angle and couldn't quite sneak it home.
They had to take that extra touch because the path to goal was blocked, and then in the end it was way too narrow of an angle. If anyone can pull this off, it is Messi, but right there he thought about the shot. It was blocked off well by Coquelin, and from this position you always tip Domenech to have it covered.
Meanwhile, I mentioned Yerry Mina available on the bench as well as fellow defender Digne, but Suarez, Alcácer, Paulinho, Coutinho, and Denis Suarez. Ball in, sliding over is Alba.
Great job on
his left foot, and Valencia forces it out.
Now, Bailey Umtiti, it did look like the striker Luciano Vieto just had that step on Umtiti, and Alba with that pace coming across to negate any sort of danger.
Lunging in Sergio Roberto. Suarez took a nick. Soler on this near side. Marcelino calmly, patiently, at least on the outside, at the edge of that technical area. Much better from Valencia in the second half. This might be more continued possession than they have had for the entire game to this point. Maksimovic caught by surprise. Barcelona, mentioned they've won this tournament 29 times, twice at Valencia's expense, but both of those needed to go to extra time. Most recently back in 1971, where Kubalo and Cesar needed to score in added time after Badaes had put two in the goal for Valencia. Vieto, Coquelin, wide for Montoya. Soler, and all the way back. Valencia have won the cup 7 times, and back in 1954 they had to beat the defending champions Barcelona to do so. Waited just a hair too long. Montoya, Vidal with the lean. And let's see what happened. This might go earlier in the play, or perhaps for a little word in passing. But Luciano Vieto now in the book. Of course, the man from Racing played for Villarreal and did so well against Diego Simeone that Simeone bought him at Atletico, but he's been gathering dust and rust, so now loaned out to Valencia. Iniesta checked the rear view mirror. Good defense here from Montoya. On the turn, Rodrigo. In for Parejo, low, but Silicon gets low quick.
Oh, that left his foot so well. One of the first times we've seen Parejo get a little bit forward. He's already got 4 goals on this season. He's capable of striking from this distance. Good technique on the shot, but it wasn't angled enough. Silicon not the most difficult save.
But at the same point, that is the first shot on target by either side today.
It also goes to show you just how well Valencia have been able to defend with the ball. They've looked absolutely lost, but on the defensive end, Phil, that compact shape, credit those two center backs, Veso and Gabriel.
Advantage played. There might be some paperwork to take care of at the end. Iniesta getting up slowly. And Rakitic finds him. Drives on Soler. Poked free. This one will be called. And now the card will come out. Carlos Soler in the book. And Sanchez Martinez practically daring anyone else in Valencia to raise a peep. This would be interesting. We've seen a couple of challenges from Valencia where they seem to get ball, but this one on replay clearly didn't. Well shielded by Andres Iniesta. Well, there is no Neymar. And at least for the moment, there's not even a Coutinho. So even from this tight angle, it's Lionel Messi, and you still can't count him out.
Always a hint that he might actually go for goal. All the big center backs are forward. He could just swing this to the far post, but the goalkeeper knows, and he has to be wary that that near post could be beckoning. Never know with Messi.
8 minutes into the second half, about 30 yards out on an angle, 2 in the wall. Messi delivers in a diving header by Coquelin, just in case.
Yeah, was looking for that near post run. Never really did materialize the way he had hoped. It's good defending again, this time from the ex-Arsenal man. Was really put in a shift today.
This will swing in towards the Valencia netminder. He'll drop to the goal line, cleared away. Soler, but again, right back into the middle. Umtiti challenging, but Domenech flies in first. Almost. Collision in the center circle. Is Umtiti decked? Coquelin helps him up. Coutinho loosening up.
Most likely will be for Aleix Vidal. Playing that front trident. Shift over to the left-hand side, as he usually did with Liverpool.
Had his first start against Alaves on the weekend and did well, but was absolutely phenomenal off the bench against Espanyol in the second leg of their quarterfinal.
And for Coutinho, it looked like he had played with Barcelona for a decade in that game against Espanyol. Every touch was silky. His combinations looked confident as well in possession. He wasn't quick to give the ball away. He was demanding the ball. And the best is still yet to come from Coutinho. Give him time to acclimate.
So in, this could be dangerous. Burst of speed, and they got help on the other side. In the middle, Rodrigo trying to drop it. Maximovic, and Piqué makes the block.
Well, Maximovic had the option at the far post, didn't want it. Instead, elected to play it back.
And also perhaps maybe one touch too many.
Good burst of pace there. Lovely 1-2 out wide, and that's really where the danger is going to come from. The pace against this high line of Barcelona. And it's that area where Sergio Roberto's patrolling that was exploited. He's not the quickest in the straight line, is he, Sergio Roberto?
Into the area, headed high, Gabriel. Suarez making things difficult. No real argument from the former Premier League rivals. Suarez a bit more success in England than the Brazilian. Good chance now with Coquelin. He had room to roam, but passes wide for Soler. Tries to get around Alba and does. Can't get the second ball through, though, and a corner kick for Valencia. Much better from Los Che in the second half.
Absolutely. They're actually sending men forward. They're looking a bit more confident, more importantly, patient on the ball. Instead of just trying to play that route one ball over the top, they're holding it, looking for the shorter option. There's another look at that run from Maksimovic. He had two options. Look at that. Squares it back. Would have been completely unmarked at the edge of the box.
And then I think when he took that look, if he would have just sent the ball to the back post, it might have been more dangerous. Flicked on this time towards the spot. Paulista challenges, cleared by Umtiti. And then touched frantically wide by Soler. And it's out for the Barca throw. And here comes trouble. It will be Vidal. Was wondering whether it would be Iniesta. And in fact, Ernesto Valverde asked this week whether he thinks that Iniesta and Coutinho can play well together. And I think this is his answer.
Absolutely. Not a bad performance from Vidal. A few good interchanges out wide on the right with Sergio Roberto. You do get the sense that Coutinho's going to have the tendency to switch flanks. He prefers to start from a wide left position.
Now, what does this do? Wide left, wide right, regardless. Does he slide into the hole and Rakitic go wide, or they just stay with his four in the midfield?
Well, right now it's Iniesta who's playing the widest left.
Launched
still
down.
a 4-4-2.
And it still looks like Rakitic and Busquets are the deep anchors. Nice cut by Coquelin. Here's Parejo. Threads it in. Passed across now. Rodrigo making the run. Vieto through. And Umtiti with the touch.
So solid, Umtiti. And that's a touch he had to make. Vieto ahead of steam.
Nice from Montoya. Well, if it was survive the first half, the game plan has worked. Possession in the second, nearly 50-50. And again, the only chances that have troubled a goalkeeper have come off Los Che's boots. Coquelin nipping at Messi's heels. Wrong foot Soler in for Iniesta, wide for Alba. Overlap Iniesta in Coutinho, back for Messi. Plays it square, deflected away by Gabriel. Rakitic looked like the arm came out. The referee didn't see it though. Fans think Rodrigo may be playing for one. Again, no VAR in Spain. That should change next year, but that's a year too late for Marcelino. To Iniesta, and it trickles safely all the way back to Domenech. Might have been a bit of a touch before that replay, but from that does not appear to be anything. Neither of these teams at full strength, as you might expect this point of the season. Nice step up Coquelin. This is maybe the best we've seen him play since his arrival. Former teammate Thomas Vermaelen, who had been playing outstanding for Barca before he got hurt. Dembele hurt again. Gomes out with stomach discomfort, and even Arnaiz, who played well earlier in this tournament, is now out with a groin pull. That may be one of the reasons that he did not move during the transfer window.
Well, the big question now is this the Gala 11 for Barcelona? Alex Vidal coming off and Coutinho on, or do you include Dembele in that? Sort of think of a side for Barcelona that could be much stronger than the one they have on the pitch right now. Looks very much full strength to me.
Messi dodging past the hatchets. Rakitic sending it wide. Met inside by Coutinho, but he couldn't quite get it all. Domenech just flailing at it as it's out for the throw-in.
It's those kinds of dummies and little body feints. Coutinho, it's exactly the kind of non-touch that Barcelona will appreciate.
And we talked about Dembele. What about Paulinho, who arguably has been one of the best Barcelona players?
Absolutely. I think maybe either Rakitic or Paulinho can be changed.
Bursting through the middle. And they do call the foul. Messi thrown off balance and a free kick just outside the area.
Yeah, referee saying that the foul didn't continue to the spot where Messi initially went to ground. There's that little push off from Rodrigo. Thought it might have been from Vesso coming inside, but luckily for Valencia, this has been given a few more yards away from the edge of the box.
Domenech filling in for Neto today, who is on the bench. Mentioned Zaza, Santimina, both available if they wish. But they are missing some key players. Murillo, Guedes, and Garay and Kondogbia all out injured. So full credit to Valencia for staying with Barcelona to this point. But anytime Messi stands over the ball, just over 25 yards out, Domenech leaning a step to his right. Messi through the wall, punched away to safety. Didn't even risk trying to catch it. Iniesta's cross headed away. Still loose. Down goes Rakitic. Whistle silent. Rakitic appears to be in pain, and Valencia on the break. But one touch too many by Coquelin. Second effort, though, sends it wide. Maximovic against Roberto. And well played.
Wasn't the best free kick from Messi. Rather central, uncharacteristically, as he usually puts it right into that sweet spot in the top corner. But there on the counter-attack, Coquelin holding onto the ball way too long. Had options on either side, multiple options.
Suarez making more friends. And there, as you see,
elbow caught him.
The forearm or the elbow. Domenech actually is taking that step to his left, but able to get back in time. Rakitic. Gaya pushing away just a little bit. Foul in the midfield. Talked about Paulinho. He's coming in. Would it be for Rakitic? Maybe for Iniesta? After all, this is a busy time of year. Edge of the area. Foul called just inside the box.
There's an example, though, of Suarez using his backside. Not many players use it better. He just lowers the boom right into the back and creates a little bit of separation. He's very strong.
Retaliate
Suarez
first.
with his back to goal. Just take a look at how he just sort of juts out his lower half.
Just maybe half a step offside, and he's fortunate, is Gabriel Paulista, that he was. He is like a rubber band, just contorting his body every which way. And well, there were a lot of people wondering whether Barcelona might try and replace him in this or perhaps the upcoming window. I think in recent weeks we've seen how good he can be. Coutinho again looking long. Can't find the opening directly, so he goes through Rakitic. Coutinho saw he was going to be in the lane for Messi, so quickly scampers on. A little slip from Coutinho. Comes Parejo. Sending it wide. Vieto. But too far for Rodrigo. Not a bad idea, just needed to be delivered better. Things getting stretched out a bit, Mateo.
Absolutely, but once again, Valencia only attacking with those front three: Maximovic, Vieto, and then Rodrigo. And so often Rodrigo and Vieto have tried looking for each other with those through balls.
Messi to Iniesta. Alba looking almost. But again, Gabriel. Iniesta again for Alba, though. Finding Messi in the box. Stutter steps to the goal line. Chips it across. Diving header by Suarez! And it's in the back of the net. Finally, the dam breaks.
Beautiful cross over the top. It goes right ahead of the entire Valencia back line, and Luis Suarez from this position, completely unmarked, makes absolutely no mistake. The ball is perfect, spotted Suarez, And it's essentially a free header for the Uruguayan. Domenech's just got the slightest touch on the ball. Here's the combination there between Alba and Messi. And Messi with the most delightful chip over the top of the entire defense. No one's marking on Suarez as Gaia went more centrally. Look how close Gaia is. There's no one there. I'm not sure why Gaia is so close to Coquelin. There was no Barcelona player in the vicinity. Completely lost his man.
But look at this. Trying to play goalkeeper, Gaia actually catches it with his hand. Or should I say touches it with his hand.
It's bizarre.
But it still goes in as he hits the post. So Rakitic exits. Job done. And Paulinho draws a nice round of applause.
Not a bad time for Barcelona to make this switch, a slightly more defensive option. But Paulinho filling in that box-to-box role so well. Getting forward, scoring goals. Rossi puts in that shift defensively. Covers so much ground as well.
In full voice right now. They kept them at bay for 60, but Valencia getting overrun here a bit. Hangs in the air for Domenech to grab. Again, Umtiti. Second goal Suarez has scored in the Copa del Rey. One behind Messi and Arnaiz for the team lead. And again, just can't seem to stop scoring in any competition. Busquets, last 16 games, 16 goals for El Pistolero. Paulinho dispossessed. And Umtiti.
He's been brilliant today. So quick, so decisive with his movements, his reading of the game on all these Valencia counters.
Iniesta. Wide for Alba. Headed down Messi, but Suarez can't return the favor. Again, blasted low, bangs off of Paulista and cleared. Just a few days after Iniesta put the full 90 in a nail-biter against Alaves. He might be doing the same here in the Cup. Messi trying to launch himself at it, but Gabriel doing just enough. From a Valencia perspective, even if they get a road goal, that would be something to take back with them. They can't afford to give up another goal or two before this is over, or that second leg might be a moot point behind Maximovic. Just a little push, but it didn't appear to be intentional. We've been giving credit to Marcelino for his game plan to this point. I think a lot of credit has to go to Ernesto Valverde, about ready to make his final sub as Alcácer will come in.
Well, still there for them. Just a one-goal advantage for Barcelona. Obviously, at Mestalla, you expect a much different Valencia that will be a lot more proactive in possession.
Tap wide, curled in towards Vieto. Last from long range, did not miss by much. Close from Coquelin. Looks like both teams about ready to make a switch. Iniesta will be coming out as Paco Alcácer comes in, handing off the armband.
Oh, look at that ball over the top for Messi. Gaya, absolutely nowhere to be seen. He's right along two other Valencia players. Completely forgot Suarez and nearly a handball as he tried to keep it out of his own goal. It's very poor defending. How do you leave Suarez that wide open? So with Alcácer coming on, can either play in a wide role in that 4-4-2, or Coutinho can play a little bit deeper to allow Alcácer to play closer to Suarez. Ex-Valencia, of course.
Made the switch with Munir, who has since moved on to a bit more success at Alaves. Looks like it's Nacho Vidal about ready to check in. Fresh defense needed. Paco lays it off. Roberto sends it in. Loose for Suarez. Decked. In fact, slams into Montoya as he tries to get the shot away, and both players down. Now they both scramble to their feet. Coquelin. Gaya with Alcácer putting the pressure on. Still two subs for Valencia, and they still have Santi Mina and Simone Zaza available if they want to try and make up this goal differential today. Whipped in by Coutinho, a diving stop by Dominic.
Oh, we know he has that in his arsenal. Scored so many from distance in the Premier League, and that was a wonderful hit. Somehow able to hit that one side-footed with so much pace.
Montoya to midfield, Umtiti again. Showed some vulnerability against Alaves on the weekend, but he's right back to his impenetrable self today. Nine games in all competitions against Valencia for Luis Suarez, and he has scored 9 goals. Maybe this one of the biggest. Messi again in the midfield finds Coutinho. Coutinho looking for Messi, but then away for Suarez. Through for Messi, but well read by Gabriel. Busquets, one touch to the chest of Messi. Scoops it over Maximovic. Coquelin. Just enough to draw the foul, but the fans want more. As Messi wants it marked off.
Throwing his body around constantly, Coquelin. Very aggressive holding midfielder. Well, this is quite a long way out, but always tip Messi to try to go for goal.
Well, they are going to make the switch. It's Soler who exits. And it will be the youngster Ferran Torres, the 17-year-old who's been with Valencia since he was 7.
So a 10-year vet. Not a bad moment to get a chance here at the Camp Nou.
Messi measuring from about 35. Into the corner and just high.
Well, this time it's not central. He's trying to find that corner at the near post. It's got the bend and dip, that signature with a Messi free kick. And in the end, it's only about a foot high of that crossbar.
And just one goal down. Rodrigo couldn't quite sneak it through. Out wide for Suarez. Gabriel over, but he's not going to get there. Well, if he intended it, a lunge by Coquelin let it go a few yards further, but still it finds Barcelona. Kind of funny with a Marcelino Garcia Toral team. Messi drives across and scoops it in for Alba in a tooth and nail battle with Montoya.
Well, it's the bread and butter for Messi when he cuts it inside, when he's on the right wing. That overlapping run from Alba when he's going diagonally into the box. How many times have we seen Messi teed up beautifully for Alba, and then he can either go for goal or square it back. Look at the position that Suarez was in. Had Alba been able to get a touch, all started as usual by Messi.
Although credit to Montoya, who seen that on the practice fields time and time again and really gave Alba no chance. Ferran Torres has played just one league game this year, but he has stepped onto the field a couple of times in the Cup. This is his third in the victories over Las Palmas and Zaragoza. Good look at the young midfielder. Marcelino was going to say, really known for his defensive intensity. Coutinho down this left flank has Alba, doesn't need him.
Beautiful.
Scoots it in for Suarez. Messi at the 18. Messi in the range of the 6, gets the shot away, and it bangs out for the corner.
Oh, how crisp was that from Coutinho, though, going by multiple defenders. Just when you think he's run out of room, he's able to squeeze it through for Suarez. Just looks so confident out there, Coutinho. The weight of that price tag not on his shoulders. Looks like he's been here for ages.
Seems like Domenech screaming at his defense. If they can just hold on for 10 more minutes or so, keep it close, make the second leg mean something. But that shot from Paco Alcácer almost burst the net, but Domenech able to parry it over.
Good technique here from Alcácer, catching it there on the volley. Oh, he struck this one so sweet. Dead center. Had that been to either one of the posts, it would have gone in. Would have been a spectacular hit.
Hit it too well. Into the middle, glancing header to the back post. Trying to track it down was Rodrigo. Dispossessed by Messi. Drives into the box. Suarez cuts in, and there's Parejo over. The former Madridista, as you point out, pinned deep by Barcelona. Messi a little nicked, and player down at the back post. Looks like Coquelin. Nope. Maybe there's a collision in the box, as both of them seem to be a bit worse for wear. Took a hit to the head, it appears.
Anytime there is a collision, it's usually going to involve Coquelin.
Normally he's the instigator. Here again, can't hit this one much better. Last substitution as Rodrigo will exit and Santi Mina will check in. So another day without a game played for Simone Zaza. Maybe keep him fresh for the weekend.
Well, it seems like he's taking a back seat to these other three strikers, Phil. What a luxury it is for Valencia to have 4 quality strikers that could start for most La Liga sides. Rodrigo, a bit frustrating as both the strikers left alone on an island, especially in the first half. They didn't see any real clear-cut chance.
Barcelona renews its rivalry with Espanyol on the weekend. Hard challenge there, and again it's Coquelin down in pain. Meanwhile, Valencia will be making the trek to the Wanda to face Atletico. They're the first challenge that saw Vieto go down, and that...
No, that's very dangerous. He just left that foot out, Paulinho.
A little bit more extension, and we could be talking red card there. But it does seem as though he pulled his leg out at the last moment. Sweet touch from Gabriel. Maksimovic has switched over to this right side. Drives it in. Umtiti spanks it away. Marcelino known for his defense, but the Valencia defense pretty much mid-table. It's offensively where they have been phenomenal, at least up until today. Only Barcelona and Real just have scored more goals than Los Che. Busquets caresses it around the defense to Piqué. So all of the substitutes have been used. Just over 7 minutes remain. Barcelona leading on the Suarez goal from Messi's lofted cross in the 67th minute. Back for Paulinho. Alba, 3 in the box. Coutinho. Respect from Valencia. Even if he hasn't played in La Liga recently, they know what he can do. More of Alcácer than the ball. Another free kick for Barca. Thirteenth foul from Valencia. Quickly started down the line. Los Che scramble back. Roberto, top of the 18. Piqué cleared by Coquelin. Messi tried to force that one through, but the ex-Gooner parries it away, but right back to the Blaugrana. Suarez scoops. Messi drives, but he couldn't control the second touch.
You can see how badly Barcelona want that second goal. Really would be that insurance goal to make it the most monumental climb for Valencia back at Mestalla. Combinations between all those wide men, especially on the left-hand side where Suarez, Coutinho, and Messi tend to converge, has been brilliant to watch.
Through ball over to this near side. Mina, one touch to the middle. Piqué in good position. Umtiti in good form. They've kept it close. Can they capitalize? Needed to be sharper. Busquets got there first. Messi decked by Gabriel, but quickly scampers to his feet. Suarez back to Messi. Paulinho in the middle. Knocked down as he tries to shoot, and again he won't get the call.
It's like a rubber band, isn't he, Messi? As he gets wiped out, springs back to his feet to get the ball back. Always wants it on his left. Trying to curl it in, but Parejo extending the arm, putting him off balance.
Gabriel knew he needed to close down quickly. Maybe a bit fortunate the referee didn't give another chance off a restart. It's like playing Russian roulette when Messi's over the ball. Nice lunge by Torres to keep it alive. Touched wide if they can get there first. Umtiti, a little bump from behind and sends the player scrambling over the camera and towards the stands. Maksimovic. Well, this was close.
Yeah.
And I think that might be what the referee is doing, going over to talk to his fourth.
No need for a shoulder to shoulder. When you know the ball's going out, the player's going out. That could have been dangerous.
I think Marcelino has reason to complain. Pareja quick on the turn. Torres. But again, Barcelona quicker. Messi 4v4. Dribbles in. Coquelin. Well, is he supposed to disappear?
Well, he's on a yellow. Has to really watch out, given how aggressive he still played despite having that card. Always seemed to be a bit of a red card risk even during his time at Arsenal.
Ball sent across for Sergio Roberto. Drives it in. Slight deflection. Cleared by Coquelin. Battle of bodies at the Emirates. Still spent a decade with Arsenal. I have a feeling they might regret letting him go before it's all said and done. Alba. Coutinho sends it over to the far flank. Messi lurking. Caress to the inside. Strikes, deflected. Good step up again by Gaia. Now it's Alba's turn. Gabriel in the way. Here the camera's flickering on the sideline, looking for that moment of brilliance, but there have not been many. Valencia have kept Barcelona bottled up. Nice turn by Alba, in for Messi. One touch, Coutinho scoots it in from the Argentine, pinballs through his legs, and then just swept away by Maximovic.
The build-up in and around the box from Barcelona is absolutely beautiful. These passing combinations, again, link up there between Messi and Coutinho.
Just too far for Mina.
Just instantaneous chemistry between the two.
And you kind of sensed a little hesitation from Messi, saying he can't do that, can he? And then he did. So maybe even more to come. 90th minute approaches. 15-3 in shots. And it was Messi lifting it over the entire defense, and Suarez, the red-hot striker who would not be denied. Ferran Torres again through and onside Mina. Out comes Cillessen trying to get around him, but the Dutchman scoops it wide.
Was a no man's land there, Cillessen, for a second, but the recovery speed to stay with Santi Mina. Lovely ball from the 17-year-old. And Santi Mina just takes the extra touch rather than going for the chip to try to round Cillessen. And that is a sliding challenge you expect from the most world-class of center backs. Now your goalkeeper.
Don't think he thought that the Dutchman was as quick as he was. Maybe their last gasp, but can they make something from this corner? Second corner driven in near post. Suarez does the job. Torres slams into the back, and a foul called as he knocks Alba down. 3 minutes to be added. Still too close for comfort.
Another look at that quick counter. The 17-year-old, a lovely ball there. Perfectly weighted. And right here, he could have taken the touch to chip on. I'm not sure why Mina just takes that extra touch, tries to round him. Maybe doesn't realize Cillessen with the recovery speed and pace.
And not just that, but as he plays that, where would he be if he was successful?
A very
He'd be
tight
at the
position.
edge of the 18. If he cuts to the inside, well, we'll never know. Nice dribble here by Parejo, eluding Paulinho. Umtiti again. And he starts the break the other way. Alba up for Coutinho. In for Messi. Dances through the blades of Pareja. Down goes Suarez, and one more free kick.
All started because of Umtiti. His tough defending, his ability with the ball at his feet to not just boot the ball away to the touchline, but to look upfield, play the short pass after dispossessing the Valencia striker.
Heading back to Mestalla, needing just a goal to at least get it to extra time. That's where things would stand right now, but Barcelona can make that hill so much higher. 80 seconds remaining in added time. Suarez is there, but probably window dressing. Messi from 30. Smothered by Domenech, who's had a good game. Neto's back up.
Just gets it to curl a little bit too much. Didn't have the height on it that he probably wanted to send into the top corner.
Got a trip to Atleti coming. Maybe that's the reason you want to save Zaza. With the likes of Diego Godin, probably want the big man rested. Busquets unafraid to spin into his own area. And Umtiti clears to midfield. Look at that, 9 shots, but none have gone in. Final chance for Valencia. Sent wide for Montoya. Curling ball deflected by Alba. Onside. Wide comes Vieto. Cuts through. Lifted high by Coquelin. Back post header. And it goes awry. What a debut goal that would have been from Torres. Mina.
Always drifting back. That's the problem. Good ball for Maximovic, and Mina is backtracking.
Well, the goal coming from Suarez off the assist from Messi. The only goal in this first leg, as they will head back to Mestalla for the second in a week's time. Suarez, 16 games, 16 goals in all competition, and good enough to get Barcelona off on the right foot. Barcelona tested more in the second half, Mateo, but they respond well.
Absolutely, and fully deserved the result. It was all Barcelona, especially in the 45 minutes. And Valencia waking up just a tad. Here's that first ball over the top from Messi, looking for Iniesta, squares it across the 6-yard box. The goalkeeper, Domenech, just getting the slightest touch to send it away from the path of Suarez, who thought he had an easy tap and goal. Take another look at this, just the index finger of Domenech's glove catching that cross. 46 minute now. Valencia, this is the only shot they would muster up in the first half, and it was well wide from the ex-Barcelona fullback Martin Montoya. It's a left-footed volley, always drifting wide of the mark. Then Rakitic making inroads down the pitch. Messi, lovely touch here, just looking for the angle, goes outside, and in the end it's a bit too narrow of an angle for Messi to really test Domenech. A look there as he absorbs the challenge. Extra little burst the pace, creates the angle. 52nd minute now, and Valencia improved in the second half. Parejo from distance, and no problem there for Casper Silesen, who had a lovely performance filling in for Ter Stegen. He is the Copa del Rey keeper. 67th minute now, and it's Alba swinging the cross, playing it short. And Messi over the top. Gaia inexplicably went more centrally towards the center back and left Suarez completely unmarked. Such a dangerous game to play. Poor marking from Gaia. And Luis Suarez gets the header to make it 1-0. Deserved lead for Barcelona. 72nd minute, cross in. Piqué deals with it well. And Coquelin on the volley. It's not really his specialty, but it wasn't too bad of an effort, at least not embarrassing for the French midfielder. 74th minute now, and Philippe Coutinho, who came in during the second half, had a positive display. This time trying to take matters into his own hands. He has a great shot from distance. They are able to mix power with curl. Speaking of curl, how about this effort from Messi from the set piece over the wall, but not really anything to trouble Domenech as it goes over the crossbar. 79th minute now, another ball whipped in by Barcelona. It's Alcácer on the volley. Had that been anywhere else but central, it would have gone in. What a sweet hit this was from the Barcelona substitute. Good technique. Now the 17-year-old Ferrer with a through ball here. Now watch this, Mina. He has a chance to chip it over the top of Silesen first time. He elects to go to the outside. Silesen closes down the angle. And it's a great sliding challenge here from Barcelona's backup goalkeeper.
Well, the 3-time defending champion, one step closer towards its 5th straight final appearance. But who will be faced in the winner? It will be perhaps the new member of Sevilla. We saw Sandro. We also saw Roque Mesa and Miguel Layun, all newcomers to the Sevillanos, and they were off to the races early. 21st minute, Bolhu dispossessed, through for Sarabia, and what a shot by Muriel. Second cup goal, 7th on the season, and the promise of more to come as he sneaks it in. However, second half just shy of the hour. Look here, Longley got on the wrong side of Chauvas, who does seem to push, but the referee says no. Sergio Rico, a half-hearted attempt out, and it cost them. Was there a foul? The ref, the one that says so, and he said no. 1-1 there. Now, next Wednesday, it'll be Sevilla hosting Leganés at the Sanchez Pizjuan, maybe with some of their new faces in the lineup. And a week from today, it will be Barcelona making the trek to Mestalla. Sergio Busquets. Well, we saw in the very beginning there was a lady who had a Busquets jersey, and now she has a pair. Something to cry about. Something worth crying about. Moment to remember for her. And for Luis Suarez, the good times continue to roll. His goal lifts Barca to a 1-0 win.